prophecy in relationship is true. God can tell you about whom you can marry. God can give you somebody you should marry. But character sustains marriage. It's not prophecy. Character should bind people together, not prophecy. If per adventure you have a seasoned man who can tell you the mind of God, that is okay. But there are others that you as an individual, you may not be able to differentiate between the voice of God and the voice of human flesh.
Papa, ade ba ko so a ha adwene pa no prophecies in relationship. Wo hwe say guy na nya ne partner na lady ni so nya ne partner person on ne tena no. Once a lady no so for say we nya right guy, on so na guy no so for na akwense me bribi. Prophecies in relationship. Ha adwene ana say ye hunu say bibi sa relationship.
Your sempa Kenny me that say question obusa ade a ekoso ankasa because Nyankopon ne konhye de bibia kire se erade kasa efa bibia efa ne nkrofo ne ma eho enti se prophecy eba afa relationship no no kure Nyankopon. The Bible says God takes pleasure in the prosperity of his servants. So God is interested in everything that concerns his children, and relationship is part. So God gives prophecy to certain seasoned men of God. But the problem here is that there are certain people who are using mind games. They are using the prophecy to either break relationship or using prophecy to bind two wrong people together because they don't really know what they are seeing. For example, a lady called me and said that she's in a relationship with a certain guy from abroad who is married. The guy is in Ghana now for some holidays and the guy is married. But the lady went to a church alone and the prophet said, you will marry someone from abroad. The guy you are with, he is the one you will marry. But the prophet never said that the guy is married and this prophecy is coming to break the marriage. So the lady was trying to tell me that, is it that the prophecy or God is going to break someone's marriage and lead me to that same man? So because the Bible also speaks against marriage breaking, and God who instituted marriage will never break. For example, Adam and Eve. God gave Eve to Adam by using Adam's rib to create the woman. They were in the garden and the fall of man came because of disobedience. But you see that the marriage never broke up. There was no breakup in marriage. They continued marrying themselves and they gave birth. They lived long and died naturally. So actually their disobedience didn't affect their marriage. It affected their relationship with God. So what I would say is that prophecy in relationship is true. God can tell you about whom you can marry. God can give you somebody you should marry. But character sustains marriage. It's not prophecy. Character should bind people together, not prophecy. If per adventure you have a seasoned man who can tell you the mind of God, that is okay. But there are others that you as an individual, you may not be able to differentiate between the voice of God and the voice of human flesh. So the problem is your inability to differentiate between the voice of God and the voice of human flesh. That's the problem when it comes to prophecy in relationship, because I believe that God speaks about our relationship. He can tell somebody to come and tell you that this is it. God can give you dreams about your relationship. But when it comes to prophecy, we the individuals, our inability to differentiate, every relationship be a woman also. Because there are instances maybe a prophet, they are also human beings. Yeah. So supposing I'm a prophet and I have interest in a certain lady, but the lady is in relationship already. Most times some prophet or mobile fan conscience or the culture say Nyankopon say the only no relationship no never say only no. Okay, obane de oni say Nyankopon na akasa e da say opeso you obedient e dey man dey na so one be man in time or major be man it about major afa e kire be a prophet no the prophecy ne buy no Now where they be because so oba no dey say prophecy ne man ono no ne e ware ususu say say be man kro no obefa ne say if that time e bia onji Nyankopon ni bi because be on the na dwebe ne say Nyankopon ne kasa say obebreki ne de na o de amobi anasa say nipa no so enje prophet ni biem say nipa no enko asori biem eti eba prophecy a many people are frustrated because we do not know the mind of God. Many people are frustrated because they respect humans. The person who is standing before himself also a prophet and originally, but only the mind behind that kind of prophecy a buy.
I see.
And no nekofa sa frustration, delay in marriage, and then it means say a relationship be a senka won't be no talk also no or beating the prophecy but no as I feel so obu I catch and say the lady or the guy you marry, the name starts with P. So onamni nyina P this wanted prince, this wanted Priscilla. The onam so be the Deborah Krana on shedding. You know, ya pa do ni
Deborah
onamni nyina or any pa AP. But the thing is, if God really wants to talk to you, God knows your house number. God knows who you are. God can speak to you clearly. But we have made prophecy to be like, yeah, don't shut to them. We don't give you all. They will give you scanty info. You act on it. You find yourself wanting. Then you don't know what to do. And later on, they will tell you that your faith was small. Many people are frustrated because they allow themselves to listen to many people in the name of prophecy. And they don't know what to do. They don't know whether to go forward to continue with the relationship or not. Maybe their parents are telling them, I had a dream about this guy. Their church prophet is saying the normal friend, they are saying, but the bottom line is character. Even if God gives you prophecy, let me use Joseph and Mary as an example. The Bible says Joseph was a pious man and Mary was a virgin. And Mary was espoused to Joseph. But later on, Joseph found out that Mary was pregnant and that pregnancy was not coming from him. And you don't say Mary other because our crown. The Bible says Joseph purposed in his heart to not continue with the marriage with Mary. But what happened? The Bible says in Joseph's dream, Joseph got that angel from God appeared and said that it is never about a bad character. This child that the woman has conceived is from God. So the angel had to explain, say, and yet a brabon in America, although the prophecy came, but the foundation is that it's not a bad character. So don't divorce this woman based on bad character. It's not bad character. So that's why prophecy does not bind wrong people together. No, God is against that. There's no way. If prophecy is binding you to a criminal, then that prophecy is not from God. Maybe because of the money that person is having. That's why the prophet thinks that if he is able to bind you two together, money will flow into his ministry. And there are some people, they do not care whether your marriage will be successful or happy. All that they need is. So you should know the interest and the motive behind certain prophecies you receive concerning your relationship, love, and sex. Either than that, you'll be frustrated. You will not know whether to go on or come. By the time you realize a prophet or through prophecy, you've lost somebody who could have made your life better.
We use Joseph Diano. Inti many lady binet here. Na me checking lady na pa, but prophecy neighbor say she's not the right lady for me. Inti per the and say Joseph had a dream. I can go on my explanation. Inti say me sumi go yen so prophecy basa no individual nya confirmation. Say the partner no yes enye the right partner no. Ono nya confirmation me say yeah. Menya kuksa confirmation ana.
Meda sosa pakeni. Erade ne ye kasa efa akonnwasa bebre so. Na there are signs ebe show say ebi oba we anu we ni kwaso onu ne tokoso. Joseph ya de na ye example ya me mesumede ne. E dey ntina ma Joseph ka say on Mary ntonkoso because ohun a sign which was pregnancy, which is not from him. And that was a sign of say ampa menene bejai. Ampa so Nyankopon say kianeke Joseph ne beja this me ankasa me bembe church ni ma ho che no ma angel e be church mu che ntino nyako betima fa prophecy so aka chose ba wan ankasa as an individual as you are living with the lady no there are signs that show but because of feelings because of they say love is blind you have overlooked certain things. And now God is allowing a prophet or a dream to remind you what you already know. Most time the prophecy ever. Once the prophet in the cannot say, say to already yeah human beings now kasano. There are things that we already know, but we turn blind eye, deaf ear to those little signs. The Bible says little foxes destroy the vine. Answer crown prophecy every crown no work in the dream mu pen every crown ma anya ka baby e bia what it be one kasa do ni o sa obey am ni wo idea the suban ni ne ma bia na ba ma bia am ni wo idea me hu ni ye me hu so okwa adwuma aso de bia ska wo no ho me de me busa ni bia na obra so obekoso ni sa ni pa na ya aware no one day to us na police for aba said you've been charged with fraud and crime. I said, my husband is always home, but you didn't know, say, a brand no open. So these are the signs. We don't ask questions. Confirmation should come. And most time you already have the confirmation, but you've turned a blind eye or a deaf ear to it. So God will talk to you, talk to other people. God does not solely talk to prophets. There are confirming situations, confirming circumstances. Maybe through dream or through other people talking to you. Maybe through this medium. Even as we are talking right now, God is using this medium to tell somebody that these things you are going through, be patient. Take good care of yourself. Be more concerned about character than charisma or outward appearance. Seek for knowledge. Make sure that the person you are with, you have in-depth knowledge about that person. It is never wrong to know more about a person. Even the Bible said that. Paul said that I should know him more. He knew Jesus. Jesus used to visit him in vision. But he said that I should know him more in word and in deed. So you turning blind eye and say, oh, I believe in Osempakeni's Psalm said that he will never, do so and so against me or at my back. No, he is a human being. You cannot trust human beings.
Sure. Well, yeah, sure is so. Once a partners, to me live more than 10 years, 5 years. Now, soon to the where any other things, not prophecy about. Some prophecy not by so a genuine prophecy. A baby son not a true or be a relationship, as some better vacation.
Okay, true. The old canon is see that because after make a baby said, Obi bet my turn because of feeling, because of the powerful way example said you are in a relationship and which will lead to marry. You love the person. There are medical tests that you should want concern maybe blood type. They say AA cannot marry, SS and the A, those tests. That the lady or the guy is have sickle cell anemia, and you keep on because you say love, your own definition of love. You keep on. Later you get married and you go and give birth to, excuse me to say, those children who are so you've created a problem. They suffer. Instead of you should have been able to prevent it. But because of say love now it means necessarily no be a relationship over 15 years after marriage and prophecy about says be assure say prophecy they cannot deny the fact that they already knew it. Iti nipa na akasa no yetafa amanehunu eba yeso because ye buye ni gu niema bebre so. We are careless, we are carefree. You pay attention. No, I make us say feelings no matter how you love somebody, you shouldn't be in a relationship which will create problems. Relationships should create opportunities, not problems. Okay. We come together to create opportunity, not to create problems to our own self and to the children or the families who are joining together.
Okay. Also, we made mention of sickle cell, testing. You have a blood group.
Yeah.
Many lady test. I mean, say blood group intimi in living man in ye. Still no prophets and also software insist say the lady or the guy is the right person for me. Na you be shone o say we doctor's report, doctors for the aba and Nyankopon and you know bigger than doctors banasa no we somebody meet me aka found.
Okay, thank you very much. Say nyame na aka some talk so say nyame na you say where God guides, he provides. Say truly said the so for na can e Nyankopon na aka na enye na adwene a go Nyankopon the prophecy ban. He also gives the power to back it. So either God may heal the person, or the miracle is that they may give birth, but the child will never be affected. Miracles do happen, it is true. But things that men use their mind to say will never bring miracle. It will lead you to pain, and later you find yourself dying because you have believed half truth or falsehood. So if it is God, that's why I said the ability to differentiate between the voice of God and the voice of the human flesh, which is motivated by maybe material things, class things, that one that you find yourself wanting. So if God has said it, he will perform it. He will back it with power. But there are false hopes, false beliefs. Some people think they are walking in faith, but that is not faith. That is not faith. Some they are working out of maybe fear or if you act on half truth, it will never lead to a miracle. Sure. You should act on full truth. So you should know what I'm saying. Is it actually from God? There should be a confirmation. So what you are saying right now doesn't, if only it is from God, then that sickle cell will never go. God heals people. Even if it is by health issue, which is not spiritual, the person can be prayed for. There are some sickle cell who have been prayed for and their blood type or their blood groupings change. Miracles do happen. But make sure that you are not acting on human knowledge. Okay.
Situation being circumstances being and Emma will leave your partner. According to Pastor, I can say prophecy a year Juma. In this situation, so for no, and our prophet insists to say the lady, the guy is the right person for you. No, you only so there, Bompaye, na yen train already any. Say, we relationship, we warrior, you be and so how near my neighbor and day. Emma, Papa, young for winning, sorry, so next time. Na young cut up for so. I did about coming with and say, now, first, you know, you say, we be crying about me and your dreams. Yeah, the Eve, Emma, Adam. Yeah, the prophet Hosea, Edema, prostitute Goma. And the Bimu are going to be said, Yami bear or bar, Edema Bema. Well, you bear ma the more by so far as relationship is concerned, a bansa in the one. A bimoso, I think otherwise, you say, any bobium, and I'm the Adam car say, or bano, I didn't mano, and I'm a could said, you have me a one. Sir, we don't say, stone, you live in error, and coupon, I point to a bar, and then my bema, say the parts, I don't know, and now vice versa.
Okay, Osempa, true. Example wa men nyina concerning Adam and Eve any go ma say be no a prostitute and Yakob ka kire ozi ase on ton koso ne ne nware nyina true but there back we say ye Christopher and say ye di Yakob achi ne hwe ye ho say Bible say in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established empepie no ade back go esi wo Bible mo once na ye dey doctrine say e betimi ato obia. There are some cases say 1 in a million. Sebi, say Nyankopon ka che Hosea say onko ware pose. It doesn't make us and me and you say yes so sad dia ye bia betima ware a prostitute. No, Nyankopon specifically told Hosea. But no nche say Nyankopon say obia enye bi. Nyankopon eyi Adam rape edible Eve. But you and I don't think say oba ebe wa Nyankopon be yi rape edi akwa akobo oba. Nyankopon have the power. He has the power to tell you, say, this lady you should marry or can choose for you. It is true. But through the Bible, and apart from saying Yakob, yes, and then Abraham, he was a prophet. God never talked about, say, there was no prophecy, said Isaac and whatever, but as a father, Abraham helped the son to get a wife through family counseling, guidance. The father guided, and in our setting, Ghana ha na say a baby memoir, and maybe a chum na yawfo, 80 mekaso, San Pacani, Yahu Bawi, You who is all na aware na because omo na omo nyini kakra omo hu say abusua wo koma ebeboa satan na eboa be ne obi kwa koshi obi o Facebook or say me dono and they hide your relationship near you free ya wo for akomo ni wi asense kakra komba boy ti me hu ne say yakopon ka na so ya wo for okokro so say parents are gods che say dia wa wo for na watena wi asese ono ko kan bia ka be bo anti and am say ni panu bi a wo kan ya asem and am say tell ni pana kro no wo ka say yakopon betena bi ba wotim say ni pana bra bo mu nyon fa yakopon nya hwe na so eba these things are nana bien say God has something to say about it. You should have reverence with God. If you are a person who is always with God there, you can expect that God will talk about them. But there are some people, they do not even have time for God. They live their life anyhow. But because maybe married, they want to marry, they go and see a pastor, and the pastor will say, God will say, the God will say that. And most of it doesn't work for them. So our parents should act. They are there to help us in our choices and decisions. God is there. So God used many mediums. It can be your pastor, it can be your parent. God is still saying something about our relationship. God is still choosing for us or deciding or telling us certain through other people. So I believe that God does that. But we shouldn't make it a religion or religious out of forcing God to say something. Because most time, when you hear God has given you this and you do not have the character to maintain, like Adam, human beings, we shift blames. We shift blame. Adam shifted blame, but it was based on disobedience with God, not in the marriage. Adam never complained about the marriage with Eve. It was based on the disobedience on the fruit that they shouldn't be eating. So it wasn't about marriage downfall. Adam marriage never fell. It never fell. Joseph and Mary marriage never fell. But it was another thing that they should have been doing that they couldn't do it. Or they shouldn't be doing it, but they did it. And that brought the downfall. So God speaks about our relationship. But it can be through your parents. It can be through a seasoned man of God. It can be through the movies you watch. All the characters and the good advice that you receive should influence your choice.
Well, Nasa, never mind him, dear Nansan, yet me identify the right partner. Then enquire so for him, and then your mommy and our friend, And I'm so knowledge, any wisdom, and intims, Nipper, Sumesiam, and I'm dear, Michelle, Nema, we dear, or you're the right person for me. Pastor Ken, you better was say, never my relationship matters, or see the radio, so I did. Well, once I or this, Yamia Duma. So many notification intimate, and this was subscribing. I said the radio and subscribe one. Na hate notification burn so. Me say them me perno, chiawa so no, been grind no bar. With them, anytime be me see feed no. It be feed will feed okay. But I will be ano. Ye di e be feed you. Enti ye twa so ne na ye share e da foforo. Na papa ye kono kora no. But was am to for my na ye my advice. Concern the wisdom and the prophecy.
Okay, hello viewers. My advice for you, for the young people, any other person in relationship that is being affected by prophecy, what I would say is that be patient. God speaks or God takes delight in your relationship, but you should seek God as well. God talks through people, but you should also make sure that God talks to you through His word, through prayer. Because Joseph received a dream. What are you receiving? What is God saying about your relationship? Prophecy works, but you should work on yourself. Because character binds people, not prophecy. Even if prophecy comes, it will take character to contain what the Lord is leading you to. Either than that, prophecy will come, relationship will break, you'll be frustrated, and you will not know what to do. So my brothers and sisters, please be patient. Take time in thinking through and praying through, because love should be based in the heart and wisdom should be based in the mind in order to have a sustainable relationship that will lead to marriage and a peaceful one. Thank you.
Wow, dear. The day an evangelist PK a champion, the day you share the interest of the youth, of born a homo dame pop, basic youth in Bayabasa. Also, already sure. The next time she be meet Kurunti. yes I be meet him na on relationship matters on Asida radio na yeah the other topics ni bi aba ene you wisdom and prophecies in relationship na ebe the other day ebe share no ebe timi actually be about sex and love e ka so do no kura no a say ni sitie bebrebe ya na no ko remu bi da bi enye life sa into there so betimi akache app there subscribe channel no Asida radio I'm my friend my main popi no partner no so e dey invite am na subscribe e ba pe e the feed na e dey ata was am a relationship so no ejina media no sempa kani na say Kwaku Samson e me say share